You did it, Internet. You fucking did it. A high five, you might say.
Fuck,
that was a terrible high five. There we go.
Woo.
You guys are You guys are just clapping.
Yeah, why are we high-fiving each other? We're literally clapping separately, and Greg's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Well, there goes another episode of Cameron trying to not swear. I'm like, I'm gonna make it the whole episode, and without even thinking, I'm like, "Oh, fucking shit balls."
Cam swearing, episode number 76.
Yeah.
Welcome to Last Man In. Lots to talk about, including the Internet saving John Scott's career, the Jets, some Moose droppings, of course, Jonathan Drouin fiasco, Brian McGrattan, a couple trades. One of Cam's favorite players is now no longer a part of his least favorite team, and of course, last but certainly not least, some new signings, some interesting ones for sure. So let's get right into the John Scott fiasco. So after we left off last podcast, he was sent down? He was named as a captain.
He was already sent down.
He was already sent down, but he had not been traded yet, right?
Correct.
So let's go over the last week of what happened.
He got so there's a trade that was announced on, I believe it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it!
We always miss it. Shit. He got traded to the Habs with Victor Bartley from Nashville. Victor Bartley was essentially a throw-in in this deal. Nashville didn't receive anything, to my knowledge.
You mean Montreal?
No. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So John Scott got traded.
Why'd you say Nashville?
Because Nashville traded Victor Bartley to Montreal, and to my knowledge, they didn't. It was a three-way trade.
Do you know how much of an insult it is to be? Yeah, you were a throw-in on a John Scott trade. You know how much of an insult that is to a player?
That's real.
I thought Scott got traded to Montreal.
He did.
He did.
Three-way trade.
Okay, Scott from Arizona got traded to Montreal, and in that deal, Montreal traded Jared Tenorti and Stephen Fournier to Arizona, and Victor Bartley went to Montreal. Went to Montreal from Nashville. I don't know what the hell the Nashville received, unless I'm reading this trade wrong. But it was a three-way trade.
They did get someone from Montreal.
Then maybe they got Stephen Fournier. That had to have been the guy they got, I guess.
I think Bartley went to Montreal, and then Montreal flipped him to Nashville for someone.
Either way, the big piece of the deal is John Scott got traded to Montreal. And 100%. The internet lost their fucking mind. 100%. I did.
Everyone did.
Because I'm like, wait, what about the All-Star game?
I'm just going to come out and say it. This trade was 100% the NHL's way of not having
it
the All-Star game.
It was Bettman.
100%.
Uncle Gary made a phone call and he's like, "Hey, Mark, I'll rub your back. I'll give you hugs."
Nobody wants John Scott.
Help.
Nobody needs him. Nobody cares about him.
True, but
nobody wants him.
At this
he was straight up told by Montreal, "You're never going to play in the NHL."
If this trade happens, if this trade ever happens, like at any other time in the year, any other year, it's a blip. Nothing happens. There's been blip trades where we've missed, we haven't announced because it was nothing.
They don't matter.
They don't matter. It mattered
though change the landscape
because
of the team.
The NHL
did this.
The NHL did this, and as the trade was happening, Bob McKenzie said that I guess he had contacted John Scott or knew people through John Scott. It's Bob McKenzie; he knows everybody.
Yeah. The
NHL contacted John Scott and said, "We'd like for you to bow out of the NHL All-Star game." And he said, no. He declined it. Arizona asked him to bow out. He said no. What'd they do? There's tons of articles you can read online if you'd like. Just search John Scott fiasco. Basically, the gist of all the articles that were written was they took a fun thing and made it not fun for John Scott and his family. He had to up and move, and now he's in St. John's Ice Caps. Like, he's playing for St. John's. They dehumanized, they made him look like an asshole.
Yeah.
It's not fair to him, but he still should not be in the All-Star game in any way.
But he accepted, he made it into a good thing, though. Like, he didn't say, you know what, hell yeah, I'll go, why not?
If he got voted in, he wasn't campaigning himself, I'd go too.
It was clearly a loophole in the system. And you cannot let the internet exploit a loophole in the system.
No.
Look what happened to the Death Star in Star Wars. They found a weakness and they went for it and they blew it up twice.
Yeah. Exactly. So
easy way to solve this problem. Next year, each team gives a list of 3 guys that can get voted in.
Yeah.
Then you vote.
Well, the NHL had already announced that their system's changing as of next year.
Last year was
a joke.
Last year was a joke with Gergensons. This year's an even bigger joke with John Scott.
Well, Gergensons did a whole country John Scott had the internet,
But
he's never losing.
The point is, those guys don't even make the All-Star game in the AHL.
Gergensons would.
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But,
So, what are your thoughts on it? Oh, I just want to mention this. John Scott asked, or allegedly has asked, if he could wear his Ice Caps jersey at the All-Star game. Well, fuck, that's who he plays for. He wants to represent him.
That's funny.
Why not? And by the way, John Scott has not played an AHL game unless he played last night or he plays tonight. Last time he played an AHL game was in 2008, 2009, like that season.
Wow.
So he's not that terrible. He's just really good at getting paid to sit in a press box. But no, Dan's like shaking his head like, yeah, no shit, he's awful. We get it. But, you know, and then the NHL tried finding a loophole by sending him to Montreal, and no. You don't go back on your word on the internet. And never.
They should have to eat their own mistake.
Yeah.
They should.
Actually, I was talking with some guys at hockey on Sunday night, and John Scott played in the All-Star game is more of a viewer's thing than anything else. So what the NHL did was like, we'll take this away, and it's like no one wants to watch because everyone was intrigued by watching John Scott play.
I want to see John Scott in the skills comp. Does he have them? Well, fuck, that's what he's there for. Let's find out.
But here's the other thing. Look at the other four major sports. None of them have these fiascos in All-Star games. It's only in the NHL because they have to find a way to make their All-Star game relevant. The NBA just doesn't give a shit. The Pro Bowl doesn't care. They're the week before the Super Bowl.
The NBA's, no one gives a fuck about...
And even the MLB, everyone just wants to listen to Chris Berman yell back.
Yeah. My mom goes to Hawaii every 2 years. Every time she goes to Hawaii, they're in the town, Honolulu, wherever the fuck it is. They're in there. She's gone to the Pro Bowl twice already. Twice. She's going again this year. Why? Because they give out free tickets in the hotel lobby. They just go and say, hey, do you want tickets to the Pro Bowl? Sure.
Doesn't mean
she's
anything.
taking pictures of fucking no one there. Train is the halftime show. Who's Train? I don't know. They're there.
Hey, soul sister.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Mister on the radio. Anyways.
Stereo.
Say that last
No.
No, you sure?
I don't know it.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. They need to make it relevant. And you know what? The there doesn't need to be an All-Star game. It's dated. You know what the All-Star game was originally made for? Where all the stars can meet back in the day and play at one central meeting ground because not everyone played everyone back in the day. Now, you see every NHL team once a year.
Yeah.
If you want to see your favorite stars from certain teams, go to the game or turn on a goddamn TV.
I think the skills competition is fun.
No, that's fucking awesome. That's the fun stuff. No one cares about the game.
And I think that the 3-on-3 tournament this year will be fun.
Yeah, it's a different take, but really, it doesn't add anything. It should just be a fun weekend. And why the NHL has to try to be super serious? What they should have done is they should have promoted the All-Star game and been like, this year's All-Star game with special guest John Scott.
Yeah,
that's how you market. That's how you get people excited about a thing, not get people pissed off that they won't watch. And the NHL is going to dig their own grave because they've got to be Mr. Serious all the time, and that's what the NFL's trying to do. They're trying to be Mr. Serious, and it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
Half these kids aren't even over the age of 25. Let them have their fun. Who cares? It's supposed to be a fun thing. Who cares? The internet exploited something. Hell, I would love to see a line of John Scott, Mike Brown, and Fraser McLaren. Why not? It'd be hilarious.
And imagine, say, just hypothetically, who they had to go up against. They could be playing against the Central line.
You know what they should do? They should let the internet vote for the whole.
Why not?
Every roster.
It should be fun. It should be a fun thing.
Just
pick one player per team.
Fuck
You don't think Chris Thorburn would make it for the Jets?
I would vote for Chris Thorburn.
Exactly.
Why not?
Exactly.
Those are the fun guys too.
Exactly. Brian Bolig from Calgary.
Brandon Bolig, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That guy's with the Patrick Kane video was hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the guy that was flying through the
pucks? Yeah. He just slides through the pucks. He's like, fuck it off. And then he's trying to pick it up and throw it, and then you just see him in the camera and he hits it. I'll tweet the video because obviously you might not know what I'm referencing.
But it should be a fun thing. The word All-Star, I understand that's in the name, but it doesn't need to be the All-Star game.
I think they should change the name.
NHL Showcase game.
There you go.
NHL Super Fun Awesome Time game.
I like that.
NHL game. There you go.
NHL game.
NHL game.
NHL thing.
Fuck yeah, that's it.
NHL.
It's a player weekend thing.
NHL special 3-on-3 competition starring John Scott every year. He needs to be a staple now every year.
He's like, who's that guy who like used to always host? Dick Clark. Like Dick. Well, fuck.
Now it's Ryan Seacrest.
I know, but it's Dick Clark's New Year's Eve Bash hosted by Ryan Seacrest. So it'll be John Scott's NHL Super Awesome Fun Time Showdown game hosted by, and then boom, and then that's it.
George Strombolopoulos.
Yeah, he's a great host. I like him.
Terrible.
But you know what I like better this year about other years? The teams are already made, and we don't have to watch bombed NHL starts draft. Like last year, Ryan Getzlaff, or I don't know who drafted Shattenkirk, but they're like, fuck, okay, who we get to draft? All right, I guess we're going to take a defenseman, St. Louis. Yeah, we're going to take Shattenkirk. Great fucking hairline. And then he walks out, he's fucking balding. He didn't say great fucking hairline, but he's a great hairline. And then you can hear the guys like talking in the background, like just a little muffled. It's like, oh man, holy shit, look at her. She's fucking hot. Like, dude, they're all fucking bombed.
But it was something to boost ratings. It was something fun.
Oh yeah. And then
everybody watched it. Yeah.
Trade, well, it's worked in the past. We got to do it again. They traded Sagan for Kessel. Oh my god!
But you also got to remember that it also ruined our 1-year tradition on this podcast of letting you draft a team.
It did.
Fucking Henrik Lundqvist, my centerman.
Yeah, Greg and I, because last year you were, I don't know.
I was gonna say, I don't.
You're on another scouting report.
Scouting
That's
mission,
fine.
okay.
And Greg and I did a podcast, obviously, and we did we drafted our teams. And I put goalies as my centers and players as goalies. Greg mopped the floor with me with points, but I don't give a shit. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's a Catalina wine mixer.
So I think we're all in agreement that it's supposed to be a fun thing and the NHL should stop being a fun ruiner.
It's already a joke. No one cares about it. No one's cared about it for years. They might as well go with it. And like play it up as like something fun.
Like I said, market it as the NHL All-Star Game with John Scott, special guests. John
Super
Scott.
fun showdown playtime thing.
Like marketing is just taking advantage of what you already have in front of you, and that's gold. John Scott.
You don't think people won't watch John Scott try to play with Patrick Kane?
Oh my god! Like I've listened to plenty of other podcasts and read articles and whatnot about this. Why? If you were going to the All-Star Game, why the fuck wouldn't you buy a John Scott jersey?
Exactly.
That's awesome. Of course, I'd buy a John Scott jersey. The numbers are rough though. They're weird.
The jerseys are off. I don't like the jerseys.
I don't mind them.
They're
but
okay.
you know okay.
I would have rather seen 4 different jerseys for each team.
Oh yeah, instead of like home and away,
Yeah.
but they do that for money, right? So that's the business side of it too.
I see the business side of it as each conference gets their own special
home
color.
And away,
No, not home and away, but you get one jersey and you buy that.
You know what they should do for each division? They should take the teams and like divide the jersey into like 8 pieces and take a piece of each team's jersey. Just make a fucking jersey out of it.
Except all Philadelphia Flyer fan and Pittsburgh Penguin fans will be like, put us on either arms. We will not touch anything.
I
touch
would
the Penguin.
not. Oh, they finally get to play each other tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
First time in forever.
First time in this season. Just fun fact, I have to say this now.
Season?
This fucking season. They only play each other twice. Next time, the last game of the year.
Why do they only play?
Division?
Yeah.
No, they have to play each other at least 4 times.
Twice?
Yeah.
No,
they
it
play each other
rotates.
4 times.
Dude, they do not check their schedule. I'm serious.
They play 4 times in a
They
season.
do not. Pull it up. Go ahead.
They have 8 teams, not 7.
Yeah. So
you
they
do not only play each other
Go
twice.
check. Here's a while you're searching this, just a fun fact. I have to say this in case Pittsburgh wins tomorrow. I doubt they will. It's been 826 days since the Pittsburgh Penguins have beat the Philadelphia Flyers. That's 2.25 years. So fuck you, Penguins fans. Just kidding. I love you, but seriously.
No, you don't.
Fuck yourself. There it is.
Now
there it is. Go.
Now we should move on to Winnipeg Jets as I get their
Go ahead. All right. Last time we left off, the Jets, they played 3 games. They played the Nashville Predators.
Yes.
How was that game and what was the score?
The score was chip.
Well, I know the score.
They won
5-4
in overtime. But they were up 5-.
They went up 4-1.
They were up 4-1 in the third period with about 15 minutes to go.
Nice.
So
Classic third period collapse. Gotta love those.
Classic. You gotta love it.
Yeah, who wants to win a game and get those 2 points? Instead, they just give your divisional opponent
Especially
a
when
freebie.
hey, we're 2 points behind this team for a playoff spot. Now we can give them one.
Ah, fuck it.
We can give them one.
We'll catch up. We play Colorado.
Was nice to see the guy that called his team out score the game-winning goal, though.
Who called
Blake
his
Wheeler.
team out?
Blake Wheeler.
Oh.
Blake Wheeler called his
Future
team out.
captain.
When was this?
After the San Jose game, he just basically said they all have to look in the mirror and basically in a polite way, he said everyone needs to get their shit together because
Oh, okay.
you know.
In Wheeler's way of saying it.
Yeah, in a way of saying, everyone needs
We've
to
all
give
seen that.
more.
We've seen a few Blake Wheeler interviews. Like the
Not
All Star Stump was a good one. He's
Or
like,
the-
oh yeah, no, it's a popularity contest. I don't want to go into it. And you can totally tell that when the moment the camera walked off, they're like, "Hey, Blake, what do you seriously think?" He's like, "Well, they can fuck themselves. This is bullshit."
Or after
A
the
point a game? Come on.
After the
When do they play?
Sharks
So they
game.
play 3. That's okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
they play
that's
3
okay.
times. The other time is March 19th at 1 p.m.
And then the last one is
The last game
game of the year. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
That'd be a good game.
So Blake though, he scored the
He
winner.
didn't say anything negative. He just basically said everyone needs to start caring a little more.
I'm going to that game though.
Oh, okay, great.
The
Good
game
for
in
you.
Detroit.
Perfect,
Yeah,
thanks.
for NBC rivalry night.
Okay,
Okay, we're on the air. Thanks.
great. Well, Greg's going to Detroit, you guys. If you want to find him there, go ahead.
Murder him.
He'll buy you popcorn.
I will not buy him popcorn.
You have to now.
How did they look in overtime? Did they at least pull it together? Was it Wheeler?
They
like,
scored in like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
It was quick.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quick. So
And the next game, they went the next day. By the way,
that is true.
do the
Yeah.
Jets have the most back-to-backs? Because goddamn, they've played a lot of them.
They played 12 already. Not 12 games, 12 back-to-backs.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. So
They only have
24
one or
games.
two left though.
They only have 14 this season.
Oh,
I have
That's
to-
got to be close to tops.
Yeah,
in the
I would
league.
think so.
they've already played.
And they've only played they played just over half a season, and 24 of their games have been back-to-backs. That's almost
Of
that's
41.
over 50% of their games.
Yeah.
Damn.
Back-to-back
Yeah.
situations. So
But
rough.
usually, I heard that when they're making the schedule for NHL, like there's 3 or 4 groups, like grouping where it's like, okay, you get a more favorable schedule this year, then boom, you get bumped to the bottom.
That could
So
be.
I'm assuming they're probably near the bottom right now. Because when's the last time they had a favorable schedule?
When they were in Atlanta.
But I mean, even then it wasn't because they had to travel. Damn
Well,
it.
But they were in a division of teams that were close to them at least, right?
Well, oh yeah.
But when they're in the Southeast Division,
That's
was a
what I
rough
thought you meant.
year.
When they're in the Southeast and they were here, I'm like, oh damn it.
No.
The NHL's like, let's pooch them. We're gonna give them favorable home games, but then fuck them because they play the next night at like 5.
in Washington.
You play home against Detroit, then you play in Tampa
yeah.
at 2 p.m.
Big divisional matchup going down.
7 p.m. home game, 2 p.m. afternoon road game. Deal with it.
Because they're actually on the plane ride. You're the early game tomorrow on Sunday.
Half the team leaves after the second period because they just can't stay.
Split squad.
Actually, I know you played the late night game in Chicago, but we need you for that early game tomorrow in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
you gotta
we
make
need
that
those
track.
NBC ratings.
Yeah.
Nice. So they played the following night after the Preds game against the Wild. They won 1-0.
This
Classic.
game saw the return of Adam Party to forward.
What?
Yep. He played a game of forward last
How
year.
come I didn't even see this on Twitter or anything?
Because
Everyone was in
Drew
it,
Stafford
yeah.
got hurt the night before, didn't play, and Adam Lowry got hurt in warm up.
Yeah.
The only guy to play forward,
Adam
you
Party.
betcha.
Because there ain't no party like an Adam party.
So
Damn,
that happened for the second time or third time in Jets history.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How-
That's why he's on the team. He's a versatile player.
This is standard, like everything I read about this game and saw the highlights, a standard, gritty, muck it out win. Road win.
Yeah.
Like that's
This is how they won
every
games.
cliche ever.
It's how they won games last year.
Well, that's how you're going to win games.
Yep.
And then, of course, not sticking to being able to string together fucking 3 wins in a year.
It's not happening.
God
It's just not
damn
gonna
it.
happen.
They dropped their following game to the Avs 2-1.
You know
I
what,
did
though?
not watch this game.
They were all over them. They had so many chances. Blake Wheeler had 17 shot attempts in the game.
17.
He's the
What?
17 shot attempts, 10 on net, couple posts, everything else was blocked. He's the second player this year to have over 15 shot attempts in a game and not score.
The other one is Ovechkin.
Ovechkin did it twice. He had 17 shot attempts in the game.
What the fuck?
Every time he got
Someone
the
told
puck,
Blake Wheeler to shoot because he's got a pretty solid
every
shot.
time he got the puck, he just went to the net and fired
Good.
it.
That's what you do.
But
Who needs teammates when you can do it yourself?
it sucks because this game would have put them tied for a playoff spot. And they were all over them, and they just couldn't bury a second goal.
I looked at the standings. I think they are 4 points out of 14th place in the league, and 4 points out of 30th place or something like that.
Very bunched up.
This is
This season, how many points
It
are
is-
they correlating to make playoffs? Like 100?
No, like 89.
yeah,
Super low.
it's super
Oh,
low
really?
this year because all the teams are
Just
so
everyone's
close.
mucking and grinding away.
And no one's trying to tank, right? So everything's closer.
Well, not intentionally trying to take
Wow.
Ed money.
You know.
They're like, no, we're in the playoff hunt. But seriously, we could do with another first round pick.
We could use. Well, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins got injured again, so they probably got to get rid of him.
I looked that up today. Edmonton is number 1 in man games lost. As of tonight, they've man game lost. I don't know how to properly say that.
Man game lost?
Man games
Lost
lost.
man game?
Lost man games. 192 of them. 192? Winnipeg
Dude,
is second last.
Columbus had like 500 last year.
No, but every game that Bobrovsky sat out, they counted as 2 because he's goalie. And he's
No, like their whole team.
Legit
was just
5.
hurt.
Are you shitting me?
It was pretty high last
Oh
year.
my goodness. How does that work? Does
so
half their roster missing?
Yeah.
And they're like,
Don't you
whoever our
remember?
AHL team is plays, anybody, somebody.
Let's see if I can pull it.
Okay, so the Jets currently sit in 25th place in the league. The last place team, part of my incorrectness, is Columbus, and they are at 38 points. 7 points from the bottom. However, to be Minnesota in 12th place in the NHL, that is 52 points. That is also 7 points.
For being 12.
So,
It's an awfully fun wire they
so
walk.
yeah, exactly.
So they're a 4-game winning streak away from being almost in the top 10.
Dan, don't lie. There's no such thing as a 4-game winning
They
streak.
can't
They
string
can't
together
get
3!
two.
God damn it!
505 man games lost.
They're
for
like a
Columbus last year.
Fuck me.
505 man games lost last
The
year.
Jets are they're a fourth grade team. They can get, or they're a 4-year-old. They can get to 2, but that third number is tough.
Oh, they're like pirates
1,
learning
2.
the alphabet.
What comes after 2, little Timmy? Free.
L.
Yeah, L. God, I just picked up a loss. And little Timmy grew up to be a sad, sad boy.
He was a Toronto Maple Leaf fan.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He learned the 1967 very, very quickly in his life.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing to say that a sub 500 team can be so close to being a
Good team.
like a 10th
But
place team in the league.
And then there's a team like Chicago. They're like, oh wait, our franchise has never had a 12-game win streak before.
Wait, Florida won 12 in
Oh.
a row? Okay, we're going to win 13.
Well,
and then we're
fuck
gonna win
that.
50
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you guys hear what happened? Chicago played Toronto. I think it was on Saturday night or something like that.
Okay.
Patrick Kane got his first career regular season
I
hat
was
trick.
just gonna say
How the fuck is that his first career hat trick?
Regular
because Patrick
season.
Kane does what he wants. He does what he wants. He's so good.
My money was not on him getting his first career hat trick
Oh, did you know
in
that
the regular season
I
against
believe
Toronto.
sometime in the last couple games that he played, he scored and tied his career high for goals
He's at,
with 30.
he's at 30.
30. That's his career high. Oh, that's great. We
It's
only have
halfway
like
through
30 games to play. Oh my god.
No, there's still 40 games.
Oh, there's still 40.
40,
No,
like-
30 some odd.
but like
35.
38. Well, okay, Jets have played
How
45
many
games.
points does Patrick Kane have? I want to know.
I'll pull it up.
No, here, Dan, you get on it. What were you saying, Greg?
Okay, let's put it this way. Jets have played 45 games. There's 82 games in the season. That means there's still 37 games for him to score another 30 goals.
Oh, hey, the equivalent, the modern day 50 goals in 39 games would be to score 50 goals in 50 or 35 goals in 52 games.
How
Oh,
many
wow.
points did
Yeah.
Jamie Benn have last year to win the scoring race?
89.
89.
Patrick Kane is 71.
Mama see, mama sa, mama gusta. Mama see, mama sa, mama
He's
gusta.
15 points ahead of Jamie Benn.
Do you guys remember?
Who's in second place?
Do you guys remember in the summertime when we were talking about like what does Chicago do? Like, are they going to get rid of him?
What did they do? I know, like, we had a great, we had a great discussion on the podcast.
Exactly.
We're like, oh, the fuck, it's over. It's over. Patrick Kane's like, step aside, my bitches.
He listened to that podcast.
Daddy's home.
He's like, no. Give me one season. I know what to do. I'll just throw 71 points.
Mama
and-
see, mama sa, mama gusta. And then they're like, oh, you know what's real? I don't want to bring your mood down, Greg. But you know who the Leafs tried signing and last season and he declined it going into the season? Artemi Panarin.
Oh, really? Of course.
Yeah, of fucking course, mate.
course.
Isn't that great?
Yep.
Who are his line mates? Patrick Kane. I know one of them is Artem Anisimov.
Yeah.
Who is the other one? How? How does Chicago have this superpower where they're like, oh,
They're the
I don't-
Detroit Red Wings of the 2000s.
I
The
don't
2010 Chicago Blackhawks are what Detroit Red Wings were from 1997 to 2000.
Were they just...
Is it
14.
a superpower, or is it finding decent hockey players and putting them with superstars?
That too.
Just keeping their core together and rotating.
Yeah.
Like take
They
Patrick,
have won 3 cups.
Take Patrick Kane out and see how that team is.
In 6 years.
Yeah, like is it really?
We can't play the takeout game. It never ends good for
I'm just
anybody.
saying.
We've
I'm
We
tried
just
to-
yell at each other,
I'm just saying.
and we've got other
It's
things
so
to talk
true.
about.
Oh my god.
Because nobody that's left that team or gotten traded from that team is a superstar when they leave. They're decent.
Do you think they'd be open to making a trade with the Flyers? Be like, hey, come here. Give me a kiss.
Artem Nanisimov?
I
Or Patrick
would
Kane?
trade. Hextall's like, okay, so I'm getting pretty good at making trades.
How many points does Jakub Voracek have?
Don't
6.
entice me.
A point per million right now?
I probably less than that. I'm gonna trade you. You're Chicago. I'm trading you. Yeah.
What is this voice?
Jakub? I don't know what Hextall sounds like yet. I haven't nailed the Hextall. Like I've got Berkey down.
He'll get it.
No question.
He'll get it.
All right. So I'm offering you Jakub Voracek. Great up and comer. And the rest of Vinny the Cavalier's cap hit. And
You don't even get the player, you just get the cap.
you also get the rest of Luke Shen's cap hit. Oh, but wait. You can also borrow my Ski-Doo for 1 whole week. We would like Patrick Kane and your first round pick, please. Thank you. Okay, no further questions. You sign this, please.
You can have all my
And
goal.
watch Patrick Kane will come here, and then he's like, "Oh no, I'm done. Can I? Yeah, I hit the cabbie. I did it. I'm done. I'm out." He just wants.
What
out.
is he not going to report? Kind of like Jonathan Drouin?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so news broke today. I don't know if you saw.
I did.
Jonathan Drouin suspended without pay for not reporting to the Syracuse Crunch the game because he played a few games.
Jonathan, how do you not want to play for a team that's called the Crunch?
Syracuse, nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a great city.
But the Crunch. Do you get free Captain Crunch, you think?
No.
Do you think they always, at all times, have a box, and if the box, like, of Captain Crunch goes missing, or it's taken out of the arena, Captain Crunch himself, like, comes through like a Kool-Aid man, he's like, where is it?
When they win a game,
No, they have their own special chips called the Crunch. They don't.
When they
but
win a
should.
game, they
Drouin's dill. No, okay.
Crispy Crunch regular
you know how some
Nice.
you know how like some
Save
teams
it.
like drop confetti and stuff when they win, they just drop.
Crunch.
Oh my God.
Captain Crunch.
Ah, that's
Actually, that's
gross.
what they do when they score goals. It's just boxes of Captain Crunch on the ice. They
Okay, you know those
have a gun.
Yeah,
They have a
but
Captain
you know
Crunch
those
gun.
Okay, you know those guns with like the floaty the foam discs that you
Yeah.
used to shoot? They have one of those, but with Captain Crunch. It just.
They've
flips
actually
off.
created Captain Crunch bars. But they're...
Those would be.
Have you had the Golden Graham bar breakfast bars?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Ooh, I need a Captain Crunch bar.
I'd totally eat a Captain Crunch bar. I've never actually had Captain Crunch.
No,
Ever?
No.
That's
Never.
the reason Jonathan Drouin got traded.
That's the reason
he didn't get traded.
Oh, easy.
That is the
Whoa.
reason the Leafs
Whoa.
have never won a Stanley Cup in your lifetime.
Why?
Because the Captain Crunch.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Greg's
I've-
gonna go invest in the.
He's gonna buy 20 boxes tonight.
Greg will become Mr. Captain
I thought it was
Crunch.
because they didn't have cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch? CT Crunch is
That
pretty
was
good.
the best
And
shit
what
ever.
I like about CT...
FT Crunch is pretty good.
What's FT
I've never
Crunch?
had the French toast.
Oh shit, I've had it, but not
Only
in a
in
while.
America.
Oh yeah, really?
I think so.
Dang.
Guys, I'm going to Detroit.
Detroit?
Detroit.
Yeah? Hey, maybe you'll see Mike Dad Badclock.
No, he doesn't play there.
Well, no, his...
Oh, I might see Ronnie Hextall, though.
When you go to the game,
Ronnie Hextall? Oh yeah, obviously.
when you go to the game, bring a shiv.
Is it
Hey,
a bad
is your
area?
friend available?
Legit, is it bad?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a good area in Detroit?
They did go bankrupt.
Hey,
As a
the
city.
whole city.
I'm bringing an Yzerman jersey. I will not get shipped.
Excuse me, a what?
An Yzerman jersey?
Hmm.
A Yzerman?
A Zerman jersey? A Steve Zerman jersey?
Steve Zerman.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should the Tampa Bay Lightning do to handle this Jonathan Drouin
Well,
situation?
obviously trade him.
Well, yes.
Writing's on the wall. He's
Andrew Ladd, Jonathan Drouin, and a first-round pick. We're good. We're good. We get Tampa's first-round pick and Jonathan Drouin.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that for sure.
Okay, Mr. Ron Hextall, Jakub
What's your
Voracek.
dream? That's more realistic than that one.
Fine. Nazem Kadri for
Now we're talking.
for Drouin.
Seriously though, Dan, if you're trading Drouin, where are you going to?
You got to go west.
where's he going?
Where would you trade him?
West. Can't trade him east.
You can't trade him.
But you
west.
Well,
can
you
trade.
can, but I
don't-
think they'll look
I
west.
also, after this segment, I want to talk about something that my cousin brought up, and I want to ask you guys what you guys think about
Perfect.
it.
Well, why?
That will take away this east-west
So
thing.
okay. Well, this is what I don't like about trade rumors and all this shit, is that there's teams that are always in the talk, like Philly, New York, they're always somehow in it.
Toronto's somehow there. Montreal's always there.
This team has like a 20% chance correlated to make playoffs.
Yeah.
They were supposed to win it this year. Anaheim. How? How are they a team in the Drouin talks? Like how?
Because Drouin's not going to be a big cap hit for the next year or two.
Because he's on a rookie contract. But who would you take? Who would you take? If we're going to Anaheim, who are you taking back? It's got to be...
He's rumored to be on the market anyways.
And they got to get rid of one of their 3 young defensemen because they won't be able to afford him because of the Ryan Kessler deal.
And Fowler counts as one
and
of the
young ones. Fowler, Hampus Lindholm, and Sam Vatanen. One of those 3 guys have to probably go, even though they're all really good players, but because of terrible mismanagement and signing guys like Ryan Kessler and Kevin Bieksa to such outlandish deals, that has cornered them. So yes, getting Drouin is a short-term fix. And
Is Sammy Vatanen Finnish?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm going to say I would pick him.
No, Lindholm's Finnish, the other one's Swedish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lindholm is Swedish.
Lindholm is Swedish because Elias is Swedish.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Anaheim. Yeah.
Anaheim's a pot. San Jose. I don't know
For
who goes.
what though? Like, what are they going to get? Couture?
No, because they can't have a huge cap hit going the other way.
Oh, because they're already cap crunched.
They're cap crunched, and they have to decide if they're going to sign Stamkos.
Teams in the West that could take him: Anaheim, Calgary,
and Edmonton,
Winnipeg,
Edmonton.
No.
Vancouver. Yeah, they have the pieces to make it, and they have space.
Do you think they're going to go for another forward? Really?
No, probably not.
No.
But they could.
They want deep.
Okay.
Vancouver.
Again, like Vancouver's.
Who are they going to give up?
Hit the button.
Calgary,
Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry.
Calgary has
one more in the Phoenix.
Calgary, lots of young talent to give away. Winnipeg, lots of young talent to give away. Vancouver, who?
Do you want
Drouin
though on Winnipeg? I don't see him in the West. Like he's tiny.
Yeah, I don't see him working in the West. He's another Nicky Patan.
If we're talking about the Jets,
though?
The Jets need a proven NHL goal scorer that's already.
He's not a proven.
That's already established, and he's not that. Yeah. Would he be a bad player for them? No, but
I don't want to. Okay,
this is showing
from the Jets fan in me, I would love to have Jonathan Drouin on the team because of what he could be. The problem with getting a guy like Jonathan Drouin on the Jets is what you're giving up, and the uncertainty of what you're getting.
And going young's already biting you in the butt.
Exactly, and he's a small player. He has clearly an issue with his attitude already.
I was just gonna say, do you want to chance that?
I don't think they're in the market to chance that.
Hey,
because clearly there's an issue on that team with taking penalties, and yes, it's softened in the last few games. They've done a better job, but he needs to go somewhere with a very strict coach. Not saying John Cooper isn't, but in a system that he can flourish in. And I honestly would say that Michel Therrien's a guy that would either hate him or love him. Yeah. And I could see him one or the other because he could end up hating him.
There's huge Twitter rumors going around.
And Toronto, because I think Mag Babcock could drill that into him. Brendan Shanahan could drill it into him.
And on the way in, I was talking to Greg about this, saying like there's huge rumors that Habs are pushing hard for Drouin. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people saying, is this what... I wouldn't want to send him to Montreal because he's already somewhat got an attitude. Not that they could fix that with Michel Therrien. But he's an unproven NHL like top pick.
Yeah.
Going into the goddamn piping hot pressure cooker that is Montreal, being French, coming from a team, and he had already played in the QMJHL and tore it up. How much more pressure are you going to get? If he doesn't score in his first shot, if he doesn't score in warm up, they're going to light the building on fire.
Minnesota is another team that's apparently pushing for him.
Could Colorado do it?
Yeah.
With Dumba and Brodin or Barry.
And then you also have St. Louis in desperate need of a change-up somewhere. And they're probably going to use lose Backus this season. You have
Shattenkirk's on the block.
You have Dallas, who's also pushing for a chance to win a cup this year, and it would not be a bad thing to shore up another forward. There's a lot of possibilities to him going everywhere, but it's where is he going to be most successful? Most likely in the East. So that's why I brought up Toronto. Yeah. That's why I say Montreal.
I love the Toronto
I think he could be good in Philadelphia. The problem with both Montreal and Toronto, you're trading him inside the division. So you're going to see him 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
If you trade him to the West, you're going to see him twice a year. You're still guaranteed to see him. Plus, the question is if you get rid of Drouin, then you have to figure out the rest of your team situation. Because we're talking about a team that was, 2 games away from winning a cup last year?
Yeah.
To a team that probably might not make the playoffs this year?
And their captain's
in limbo.
And one of their next stars wants out or is gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Stamkos?
Okay,
Drouin's their next star. He's gone. Their captain in limbo is Steven Stamkos. They're in this. Yeah, they still have the triplets.
Is driving all your players.
Allegedly, maybe.
Is it John Cooper?
Or
That's
maybe
allegedly.
it's ownership. No. Also, or is it one of those things where it's like Columbus or like Philly, where there's pressures from the owners to do bullshit stuff that doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
But if you want to keep your job, you're going to do this. To close this out, by next podcast, is Drouin still a Bolt?
No.
You know what? Tampa Bay is working from they're not Vancouver. They're not releasing a press release that he's demanded to be traded. Yeah, that was all on the agent that did it, so it's a different situation. The ball is still technically in Tampa Bay's court. They don't mind not paying him. They're not paying him right now. They don't care about his career.
And also, it's only tarnishing his
You
image.
want this hanging over your head, though? No.
No.
They'll get it done quick. Just like the Jets after the Vander Kane thing last year. They're like, oh, well, maybe this means they'll finally do something. Next day,
Boom.
Gone.
I am with Dan. I will say even traded by Monday.
I would be happy to eat my words, but I do not see him being traded until trade deadline day.
Okay, excellent.
Until around trade deadline.
So what you were saying about your East-West?
So, I was having a discussion around Christmas time with my cousin, and I kept forgetting to bring it up on the podcast. And he's an avid hockey fan, just like we all are. He said, when do you think the NHL, because if you think about it, the NFL does this, because the NFL has AFC, NFC, it's not East-West, so you have the chance to play everywhere. What if the NHL just took the top 16 teams? Didn't matter where you are. So you could have a Toronto-Montreal series. You could have Vancouver. You could have Toronto-Montreal Stanley Cup. You could have a Vancouver-Anaheim Stanley Cup. You could have an LA Chicago Stanley Cup.
I'll tell you one reason.
And I this is what I rebutted with, but continue.
Travel costs would be enormous.
But
potentially.
But they already are.
They already are. Crazy.
Tampa and Chicago, that's a pretty big hike.
If you're taking but that's for this final. If you're going every round, top 16 teams.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
what if
Good
Toronto
thinking.
has to play
Anaheim,
LA?
What if they have to go through Death Valley in the playoff series? They have to go. They'd go. Toronto would play LA, then they'd win. Hypothetically, because I'm a Toronto fan, they go beat LA, then they beat San Jose, then they beat Anaheim, and then they play Montreal in the final. That is a huge cost. However, does it bring in more revenue dollars?
It would grow the game.
It would grow the game, and I think it'd bring in more revenue dollars.
It might, but it might not.
But the other problem that
What if Carolina ends up playing Phoenix in the playoffs? Think anyone's going to give a shit? No.
Yes.
All the way across the country.
But if they're in the playoffs, then they deserve.
In that game, I care.
Then they deserve to be in that.
It's true. The
where they
top
are.
16.
Well, no,
it's going to be
so
a bracket.
if it's 1 versus 6, no, it'll be 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15.
So like college hoops.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it'd be fantastic. And I think once they get to the Final Four, they should scrap conferences and they should just rank them how they finish in the season.
That'd be cool.
Well, that's what we're talking already.
So,
Boom,
yeah.
you already added a layer to it.
No, but so instead of having a West-East
Oh.
Cup final, when it gets down to Western
Just
final,
do it all.
East final,
I like
scrap
that.
the conferences 1 to 4.
The one thing that is the issue, and the NHL has been very, very lucky for a very long time. Their goal is to grow the game in America. Who from the U.S., from south of, let's say, Idaho, is going to watch a Toronto-Montreal Stanley Cup final?
No one. We're tired,
NBC
people.
is not going to be able to put on Toronto-Montreal over their original schedule program because it will not make more money. That is the biggest issue that I've seen with it. And that's what I said. I said, as much as it would destroy in Canada, you'd probably get 20 million people watching a Toronto-Montreal Stanley Cup final. For sure you would. Vancouver, Calgary Stanley Cup? Yes, you would. Would not work in the States, and that is why the game won't do it. However, if the game has the potential to see a Tampa Bay Washington Cup final, they would make a killing on that. And Canada would do just fine. So it has its pros, it has its cons.
I'm sure that's one of the main reasons why, it probably wouldn't work.
However, you could also have a Vancouver-Toronto series, right? And how does that help out? That's where I still think this could work out. And I like your idea. I like that idea of once you're Final Four, you scrap it because.
But if you're gonna do that, do the whole thing.
And I like the idea.
Because
really,
I think it'd be fantastic.
Okay, I'll read you guys.
We do, but
yeah, Gary Bettman.
I'll read you guys who the top 16 teams are. What the matchups would be. Okay.
go.
So 1 versus 16, you'd have Washington, San Jose. Mm-hmm. Chicago versus Montreal. Mm-hmm. Dallas versus Ottawa.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a burner coming.
Los Angeles versus New Jersey.
Oh my God, that's my worst.
give 'em the
nightmare.
cup.
St. Louis versus Minnesota. Florida versus Boston. New York Rangers versus Tampa. I fucked this up somewhere. Who did I miss? I didn't miss anyone.
No, just keep reading it.
Florida. Yeah, I think Florida, Boston. New York Rangers, Tampa Bay, Detroit, New York Islanders. Yeah.
That's it.
The point is, it'd be different.
It would be different. But Chicago, Montreal, first round of the playoffs. Price versus Kane. Think how much money, like, in advertising that would just, it would blow everything out of the water. Because really, let's be honest, by the time the Stanley Cup final rolls around, we've watched a ton of hockey. And it's almost overkill by that point. It's tough for me to watch the conference finals because I'm out of it at that point.
To me, the best part of the playoffs is the first round.
I agree.
After that, it's like...
Because you could sit down from like
on a Sunday,
5 p.m. Until midnight.
There's more teams. There's more teams. There's more going on. When it gets down to four teams and two, like the Cup final last year, I didn't watch hardly any of it.
Yeah,
I just didn't care.
But
not to say it wasn't good hockey. And they were good teams. I just didn't care.
Yeah, but it allows for the potential, and really, like where you're saying it added travel costs. What I just said, a lot of those teams are in the East. A lot of those teams are close to each other. Like really. Chicago and Montreal isn't that far away from each other. That's no further than Montreal playing against Tampa Bay.
No, closer.
So, at least once a year, you're going to have a monster, meaty series like that one.
Yeah.
And that's where
the only thing is
cash is going to come.
The only thing is there's no guarantee, right?
Exactly. But I think it does do something to grow fan bases there because, like, you might become a hockey fan not because of the team that's in your city, but because of a player on a team. And being able to see a player, like let's say Toronto played against Arizona 5 years ago in the playoffs, and Phil Kessel scored 6 goals in that series, and some fan in Arizona decided that now Phil Kessel's his favorite player.
That's
and it grows
funny
the game
because
that
that's
way.
how I got into soccer. Friend of the show, Brian and I, we were hanging out. Is it all right?
I dropped my phone. Yeah, we're good.
Friend of the show, we're hanging out. We're watching the Euro a couple years ago. And he's like, yeah, pick a country. And he's like, no, you know what? Make it easier. Pick a player. And so I picked Captain of England, John Terry. And then I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I don't watch club. And he's like, just follow John Terry then. Go to his team he likes. And then I just started liking Chelsea, the team he played for.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you get more fans. Like, that's got me into soccer just by watching a guy. And then I slowly got into it. So
I still think they should do, if they're going to keep it within the conference, just do the best 8 teams. Don't do divisions. Don't do wild cards.
Yeah. I agree. I like the best 8 teams as well.
Because honest to God, if they did that this year, there would probably be 7 teams from the Central and 1 team from the Pacific. Or 6 from the Central and 2 from the Pacific.
It would be very close. Very close.
But I'm just saying, in terms of the caliber of hockey teams, right?
Yep. No, I see what you're saying. Right now, it would be there would be Arizona and Los Angeles from the Pacific. Everyone
and
else
then everybody
from the
but Winnipeg from Central.
Yep. Oh, and Nashville. Oh, San Jose's in there too. I didn't see them.
But don't do top 3. Just do best 8.
Yeah.
all right.
Next, I think we need to talk about the Brian McGrattan situation.
Dan, did you see this last night?
I did. I saw it this morning.
Do you have the video? Tweet the video.
I will tweet the video.
Tweet the video. Thank you, Cameron.
I certainly did.
Our awesome producer.
Yeah.
So, thoughts, comments, questions?
Well, it's tough to watch, 100%. I mean, a guy gets knocked cold. I mean,
Cam's got his 6-colored pen,
He does.
and it's not really working out for him very
he's having
well.
a bit of issue. Tough to watch. Guy gets knocked out cold. He's not moving. He's face down. I mean,
And what I don't like about it is that the fans kept cheering as if it was a good thing.
wow.
They were cheering when a person was motionless. They weren't. There was no movement, and in the fashion that his friends or his teammates and the refs were waving over the athletic therapist and doctor and whatnot, he could have been paralyzed.
But it wasn't even just his. It was
There's
a player from the other team was holding on to the athletic therapist from the team Bryan Sveinson was on to get him there. So it wasn't. It was everybody on the ice.
Everybody knew what was going on.
I mean, we already know fighting is losing its place in the game.
Yep.
According to the reports that I read, this fight was just a fight. Like, it had nothing to do with. It wasn't. They were going to fight, but it wasn't because there was a dirty hit or anything. Now, this is all just what I read off Twitter. So this could be false. So I'll hold myself accountable. But you can't... There's no place for fights like this anymore in the game because of stuff like this. It could happen where you could become paralyzed.
Okay. So there's one... I'm going to just mention something. Two things. One thing from Brian McGrattan's Twitter, and then another thing I read on Twitter as well today.
Excellent.
So Brian McGrattan tweeted, he says, I understand the risks of... I'm paraphrasing. I understand the risks of what I do. I'm not upset at what happened. I know what happens. I've been doing this my whole career. Essentially is what it's summed up to say. Somebody else said on Twitter that the NHL has lost its place for fights. There's really no need for fighting in the NHL anymore. However, in the AHL, there's still a place for it. That is what I read. For fights like these.
Stage fighting should be...
It just shouldn't be there.
Like, fighting for no reason, looking at a guy saying, my team needs momentum, hey, you want to go? That needs to go. If a game gets heated, guys are hitting, there's some pushing and shoving, and two guys just want to throw down because they're mad at each other, that I'm okay with.
Yeah.
It's still dangerous, but at least there's some spirit. You're doing it because the game's,
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm all for physicality, hitting in hockey. I love it. I think it should be, that big team should hit more. But the stage fighting is just... And you don't see much of it anymore.
More bruises. Not more injuries. Just more bruises. More blood.
I mean, stuff. I mean, and this could happen in any fight, really.
I still think if people want to see people fighting on skates, the WWE should do something with fighting on skates.
That's too dangerous.
Yeah,
because you have huge guys on knives.
I understand that. They can figure out a way to make it safe. I'm sure they can. They have people that beat each other with ladders and chairs.
It's
perfect plug. Yeah. Royal Rumble this Sunday.
7 p.m.
Be there. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I hate you guys so much.
You brought it up.
I know.
One versus everybody.
I kind of want to watch it.
What's that?
Royal Rumble.
Well, this isn't going to be a good one because it's one versus... I don't want to spoiler alert any of this, but...
Triple H is winning the title.
That's who you're taking? My surprise entrance is going to be Triple H or... That's not surprising.
My surprise
The Rock.
would be... No. If they're going to do a surprise...
Can you smell?
This is way off topic, but if they're going to do a surprise guy to win, AJ Styles. They're hyping him so much.
Cena put an Instagram picture of
AJ. If you're going to hype him that much...
Fine. We should get off wrestling and back to Bryan McGrattan. Obviously, we hope he's doing okay. Thoughts are with him.
I'll tweet the video, but watch it under your own discretion.
Yeah.
Tough to watch.
Not for the faint of heart.
Oh, God.
I
watched it and I tried watching it. I only could watch it twice.
Another video you should tweet the link
and you watch fucked up shit on the internet.
Is the linesman who decided to interact with a junior hockey player.
Yeah, shit.
Who then got cold clocked by the athletic trainer.
Yeah. That was
I don't want to give away too much because I want people to watch it and be like,
what was that about? Like, what the hell?
Linesman, clearly the player had to have said something to linesman, but you're a linesman, you're supposed to act professional, you don't do that. You don't do that.
And then
the linesman crossed the line to start it, but
the
trainer crossed. I mean, they both crossed the line, but the linesman has no right to punch a player. No matter what he says to you, if he spits at you, if he takes a swing.
You have all the power. You don't.
Greg would know because you officiate, don't you?
Yeah.
You can't. Even if a player swung at you, you couldn't hit him back, right?
No, but I wouldn't hit him back.
But I'm just saying. So you have to brush it
If
off.
he punches me, that's a lifetime. Well, not a lifetime ban, but a very serious suspension.
So you have to brush it off.
And I'd more or less laugh at the kid for ruining this. I'd be like, your parents just spent over probably $10,000 over the last 5 years to make you play hockey, and you punched a ref, so you're an idiot. Especially when it gets, I don't know what level this was at, but like, let's say this is AAA. So probably
they had matching equipment. I'd like to say it was AAA.
Okay, so let's say it's AAA. Most likely registration for AAA is around $10,000. plus equipment, plus trips, plus ice time, and all these other
You
things.
should have a guaranteed $15,000.
Probably
Guaranteed.
$15,000. I don't know. I never played AAA, and I don't have a child that plays AAA because
You don't have a child.
I don't have a child that I know about yet. So, just kidding.
Unless you had a kid when you were 6, I don't know how that would work.
But that's a lot of money to blow because you're frustrated and to punch a referee. Because that's probably at least a year, if not 2, if not more. That trainer's probably... Okay, they had trainers, so it's probably AAA or higher. Yeah, you don't do it. Your parents put a shit ton of money in for you to play hockey, and you ruined it by punching a ref and losing your cool.
And depending on the age of the trainer and the player, that could be an assault charge.
Did the player actually hit the referee? Because I'm just spitballing.
Okay, let's see. He spits the referee. You still get suspended for that.
Yes,
well,
of course.
But I'm sure there is something said or done. The referee probably has a defense, but at the same time, the referee probably will never ref another game ever. Because you'll always be known. You'll always be known as a ref that punched a kid. That trainer will probably work with a team again.
Not in that league.
He stood up for his player, who got cold clocked by a referee.
You can't do that.
I know you can't do that, but I'm just saying.
The trainer speared him. Tackled.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Oh, it was a spear tackle. Yeah, that's right.
It was so weird the way it went down. He kind of hit him. It was weird.
It was more of a clobbering time.
Watch that video too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Last thing that we have to get to is Cam's heart broke a little Saturday morning when Dad texted the group saying one thing.
What did you say to me, Dan?
What did I say to you? I don't remember.
Carl Hagelin was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I said I guess you can't cheer for Carl anymore.
Yeah. So, Carl Hagelin and who's Clendenning? Luke Clendenning got traded from the Ducks to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Clendenning went to the Ducks with Perron.
My bad, homie. Clendenning and Perron went to the Ducks for Carl Hagelin. Because apparently the Ducks are searching for scoring and they think they're going to find it
in Perron,
and
who has not scored.
You're not going to find it in David Perron.
Because Pittsburgh tried the same thing last year, and it didn't work out for Pittsburgh.
If Mikael Granlund ends up on the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm done with hockey. I'm auctioning off my jerseys, and they're going into the bank of Cam, and I'm going to take up just join a sport full. I'm going to watch the NBA.
Can Wayne Simmons get traded to Pittsburgh?
No. I don't want that to happen.
Yakov,
I don't think they'd ever take him.
I've come to accept that if there's a player who gets traded for maximum value in return, it will be Simmons on the team.
Yeah.
So I'll accept that, but I will not accept that they'll trade with. I think Ron Hextall hates the Pens more than the fans do. Everyone, they don't like each. It's fucking Drew. They don't like each other. Crosby is 100% correct. It's we don't like them. They don't like us. Good, because we don't like them. He wasn't lying. We don't like them. I don't like them.
As soon as you become a Pittsburgh Penguin, you're taught not to like
Look
Philadelphia.
At this. I liked Hagelin was a Ranger. I should hate Hagelin.
Yeah.
But he's too beautiful. I can't do it. Now I can't even watch from afar.
And enjoy
On Thursday, he's probably going to get gosh darn hit.
Or a goal.
No.
He'll score once or twice.
No.
OT winner.
What if it's like a
what
Carl
if breakaway?
What if it's like a game winner? Hagelin to Kessel, just bar cheesy down.
You know that Michael Jordan meme where he's just him and his tears scrolling down his face?
Yeah.
That.
Gonna be
You know
cool.
that song? It's what hurts the most is
episode number 76 of Cameron Singing.
Having so much
hasn't improved
at
all.
What you say, what you like with.
Are you done?
Yeah, there will be sad music playing in the background. There will be a montage, and then I'm just going to do the make
Can it
yourself
be
cry
Mad
chant.
World? Can it be Mad World?
What's a Mad World song? Can I give a dose of that?
All around me are familiar
Shit! Yeah, that's it.
Worn out.
Yeah,
there it is.
Nail on the coffin right there.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. Yeah, and then you're just gonna see me sitting in my Flyers jerseys.
Philadelphia Flyers are 1 point out of a playoff spot until they met Carl Hagelin.
Yeah. And it's gonna be highlights of Carl Hagelin over top of
The
me
newest
crying.
montage sensation of YouTube 2016. Okay.
All right. Well, there were a few signings in the NHL this week. 2 significant signings.
Before we get to the signings, can we finish off what happened last week in our emails? Did you ever get an email back from our business friend?
Oh shit! I went to go email Mr. Tan or Mr. Tang.
What happened?
And the email's like, this email's there's been people who've been compromised from this email before. Like Google, like OG got your back gangster, like McAfee stuff. They were like, yeah, don't email this person.
God damn it!
Damn it! We did get an email. Do you want me to read that one?
Sure.
Do you want me to read it after the contract talks?
Before contract talks.
Before contract talks. We got it from... Well, actually, it was from a YouTube comment.
Okay.
The sports guy commented, where do you guys think Drouin will end up? Well, we answered that. Unless he's already been traded by next episode, we also answered that. But this is what... I'll read the message he sent us. P.S. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work, Cam. You're fucking awesome. P.O.P. Hold it down. Shout it one time.
He did not say that.
He for sure said that. He said, "Love the podcast." He said, "Love the podcast. Keep up the great work."
Yeah.
So
okay.
thank you, the sports guy.
Don't fucking plug yourself. Or someone else is getting
already
cold
upset.
Yeah, I'm upset.
I have an interesting stat if you want me to read it off for you.
Stat, go.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
First, I'm going to read a hilarious tweet because it's right below it, and I feel like I have to read it.
Perfect.
Not related to hockey at all.
Greg's gonna love it.
From Happy Gilmore on Twitter.
Okay.
Breaking. Chip Kelly has already traded away the entire 49ers roster for a bag of gummy bears and some Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah,
By Colin Kaepernick.
he's a dangerous man.
Anyway, the stat is, currently, there's no Canadian team in a playoff spot. First time it's happened this late in the season since 1969.
So, actually, Greg, you're gonna get your answer for TV ratings a lot faster than you thought you did.
I actually saw a really interesting thing from Down Goes Brown. If there are no Canadian teams in the playoffs, who then becomes Canada's official Canadian team
Jonathan
to cheer
Taves.
for?
Jonathan Taves and the
Okay.
Chicago Blackhawks.
I would have gone for somebody more underdoggy like the Florida Panthers. But that's just
fuck
me.
yeah! Hey, let's do it. We're endorsing the
Florida Panthers?
Goddamn right we are.
Okay.
Yes.
I am
100%,
full
100%.
board on to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, are we gonna get rubber rats? We'll just throw it. We'll get bouncy.
Can we throw them at each
Let's
other?
throw them with rubber rats. All you're here for the podcast are
Can we get, when we start the podcast, can we get like the cats thing from like the start whenever the Panthers score?
Maybe we should get Dan Lebatard. No, Randy Moeller.
Yes.
Oh, that's a video I'm sure I've tweeted before, but
yes.
Randy Moeller
The goal calls?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, the other thing is, could we, if there's actually one NHL personality I want on this podcast, Nick Bukestad, because he's everything.
epitomizes us. He gave us the gift
of a Treats of Pizza.
Treats of pizza.
Yeah.
Through my pocket, but it counted.
Yeah.
It counted.
What's our Treats of Pizza this year?
Justin Falk,
Justin
19
Falk.
power play goals.
Exactly.
Do we have a power play counter, by the
We
way,
do not.
for him?
I'll pull it up.
Pull it up.
Yeah, get on it.
Signings, go.
Signings. Well, we'll start off with the big boy. Okay, Cam Talbot signed a 3-year deal
With
Ed Money Oilers.
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh.
I was thinking
Who are
the
you?
other
How are
Talbot. I
you,
was
Cam
thinking
Talbot?
I was
No,
thinking the other
Max Talbot.
Yeah.
3 years, $12.5 million. Average annual earnings, $4.17 million. So
Overpaid.
obviously they've decided who their goalies. Man, all goalies are paid so much money these days. I was trying to build like a team just based off money today. It was rough. Luongo, great bang for your buck. He's older, totally worth your money.
Really? Okay.
And then this is the actual big dog. Andrei Kopitar signed 8 years, $80 million extension with the LA Kings.
What a terrible contract.
Let me give you the money breakdown. 8 years. First, so here, I'll just go 14, 13, 12, 11, 8, 8, 7, 7. It ends in 23-24. He'll be 36 years old. The first 2 years include a $9 million signing bonus. Dan, how many power play goals does a Folkster have?
How many did he have when we first
12.
covered the story? He had 12?
You fuck. Did we jinx him?
He's got 12.
No! Duh, Justin, I believe in you.
He's got 14 goals. He's a minus 16.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
He's
Okay.
got 32 points and he's a minus 16.
Time for the election as we wrap up episode
Yeah,
76.
we missed it last week.
In 26th, the Calgary Flames.
Okay.
27th, the Edmonton Oilers. 28th, the Buffalo Sabres. 29th, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Fuck yeah.
30th, Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hell yeah, I'm okay with that.
The bottom 4 teams were all there last year.
Honorable mention. Name the top 2 guys, like the other guys.
Anaheim Mighty Ducks?
No!
Or the Anaheim Ducks?
I shouldn't have played that game. No.
And the Winnipeg Jets.
Yay! Woo!
Winnipeg Jets are actually in 25th right now. But don't worry, they're in 25th. But they are
I know,
only
we've already covered
4
them.
points behind Arizona. So
4 points back, you win. Austin Matthews, 4 points forward, you're in the playoffs. What do you want? I'd go 4 points back to be there always.
I'd go 4 points back to be like 30 points ahead next year.
Yeah, like
I want Kachuk. Or Matthews. Or Payardi.
No, don't Kachuk.
Why?
Get out of this old school mentality, Winnipeg.
Payardi.
Oh, Busser, Carrie Bus. We were texting. We were coming up with hashtags. Last for Line. Jigget for Jesse. That was Carrie's. That's weak ass shit right there. And there was another one. Oh, awful for Austin. Awful for Austin. Based off your
Those aren't
faces,
working.
you are not impressed.
No.
I like last for Line.
No.
Piss awful for
If
Patrick.
it was Lionel,
Piss it for Patrick.
Ass backwards for Austin.
Face down, ass up for Austin.
this is why we're done. We're done.
Sorry.
Fucked for Kachuk.
What? That doesn't even rhyme.
I don't know.
You don't need it to rhyme.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at
Suck
the
for
face.
Kachuk. There it is.
I'm so fucking
Loud noises.
face down, ass up for us.
I'm taking a side of the jet ski tomorrow that says suck for Kachuk.
Pissing for Patrick.
I'm pretty sure some girl said that once to Kachuk.
Matthew Kachuk?
Or Keith.
Or Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, closing words, guys.
No, I think we're good.
Suck
Hey,
it for
you
Kachuk.
guys, email us or tweet us your great hashtags for the election. This is probably going to be one of the first, in my knowledge,
How did you collect yourself that quickly?
that a Canadian, I don't know, that a Canadian won't go in the top 5 because Jacob Chitron has dropped out of the top 5.
Yeah, isn't Gaucher ahead of him now?
Well, I'm just saying there's not a Canadian ranked in the top 5.
Good.
So
Because fuck Canada.
you're
just
right.
kidding.
We need a reboot.
How did we do in this year's World Juniors? We didn't.
Canada is a
As I said,
Great
Golden Cross
country.
Scouts were very upset. He's showing this perfectly right now.
What?
How we just get upset when we don't win gold.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
All right,
Okay.
Greg, send us home.
Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Not Facebook. I fuck up every week. Email.
Monotone Greg is back.
Ah! Yes!
See you guys next week.